What's that?
A baby.
A youngin.
Oh. Why would you take your baby to a county commission meeting?
Because I can.
I mean, yeah, but like...
Joey, they can't leave the baby at home by itself.
I'm just saying, it's like, of course the poor baby's gonna get antsy. That's the gavel.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're going to start the way we normally do with introductions, and we will begin with our clerks.
Good evening, I am Christine Smith, clerk to the board. Welcome.
Good evening, I am Marlissa Easton, deputy clerk to the board.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Yvette Townsend Ingram, and I serve you at large on the County Commission.
Good evening, I'm George Dunlap, elected by the people of District 3. Welcome.
Good evening, my name is Lee Altman, County Commissioner serving at large, and I have the privilege of also serving as Vice Chair. Welcome to you all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It is great to see everyone. This is Democracy in Action. My name is Mark Jarrell. I've been elected by the people of District 4, and I have the honor of serving as chair.
Good afternoon. My name is Wilbur D. Lincoln. I represent the most powerful district in the system, and that's District 2. I started to stand up. Will all seniors please stand up? All seniors please stand up.
Cassidy?
Stand up. No, I'm just joking.
I think I'm past that, Joe.
Huh?
I think I'm past that.
What?
Me too. Senior.
All right, good evening and welcome. Power to the people. My name's Arthur Griffin, and I have the pleasure of representing all of Mecklenburg County as a county commissioner at large, and I wish you would come every meeting. Thank you.
I didn't mean to speak before this brought up. But I'll say it again. My name is Bill. Thank you for being here tonight.
She did the same thing when I chaired the Board of Education.
That's why we were successful.
Good evening, I'm Laura Meyer, and I represent District 5.
Good evening. My name is Susan Rodriguez McDowell, and I have the honor of serving District 6.
Good evening, Mike Ryan, Mecklenburg County Manager.
Hey.
Good evening, Tyrone Wade, County Attorney.
Good evening, I am Mecklenburg County Commissioner Elaine Powell, representing North Mecklenburg, Huntersville, Davidson, Cornelius, and North Charlotte. I agree with Commissioner Griffin. I wish you would come to every meeting. Thank you.
All right, before we go to our invocation, there's a couple things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is I see a lot of elected officials that are in the House joining us tonight, and I'd like you all to stand to please be recognized. Excuse me one second. We're going to go. Thank you, everyone. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So thank you for reading my mind, Commissioner Lee. I definitely appreciate that. And so, with that being said, tonight is a really important night for our community. I appreciate everyone here. But I am reminded that we lost a giant in this community, in Attorney James Ferguson, and we would be remiss if we did not take a moment to offer a moment of silence in memory of a civil rights icon, a pioneer in the struggle for civil and human rights. And right now I'm going to ask everyone to please join me in a moment of silence in honor and respect of Attorney James Ferguson. Thank you. And at this time, we will turn it over to Commissioner Meyer for the invocation and to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In honor of Women's Equality Day this month, I want to read from Maya Angelou's Wouldn't Take Nothing for My Journey Now, entitled In All Ways a Woman. In my young years, I took pride in the fact that luck was called a lady. In fact, there were so few public acknowledgments of female presence that I felt personally honored, whatever nature and large ships were referred to as feminine. But as I matured, I began to resent being considered a sister to a changeling as fickle as luck, as aloof as an ocean, and as frivolous as nature. The phrase, "a woman always has the right to change her mind," played so aptly into the negative image of the female that I made myself a victim to an unwavering decision. Even if I made an inane and stupid choice, I stuck by it rather than be like a woman and change my mind. Being a woman is hard work, not without joy and even ecstasy, but still relentless, unending work. Becoming an old female may require only being born with certain genitalia, inheriting long living genes, and the fortune not to be run over by an out-of-control truck, but to become and remain a woman, command the existence and employment of genius. The woman who survives intact and happy must be at once tender and tough. She must have convinced herself, or be in the unending process of convincing herself, that she, her values, and her choices are important. In a time and world where males hold sway and control, the pressure upon women to yield their rights away is tremendous. And it is under those very circumstances that the woman's toughness must be in evidence. She must resist considering herself a lesser version of her male counterpart. She is not a sculptress, poetess, authoress, Jewish, negress, or even, now rare, in university parlance, a rectoress. If she is the thing, then for her own sense of self and for the education of the ill-informed, she must insist with rectitude in being the thing and in being called the thing. A rose by any other name may smell as sweet, but a woman called by a devaluing name will only be weakened by the misnomer. She will need to prize her tenderness and be able to display it at appropriate times, and in order to prevent roughness from gaining total authority and to avoid becoming a mirror image of those men who value power above life and control over love. It is imperative that a woman keep her sense of humor intact and at the ready. She must see, even if only in secret, that she is the funniest, looniest woman in her world, which she should also see as being the most absurd world of all times. It has been said that laughter is therapeutic and amiability lengthens the lifespan. Women should be tough, tender, laugh as much as possible, and live long lives. The struggle for equality continues unabated, and the woman warrior who is armed with wit and courage will be among the first to celebrate victory. Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before we move to awards and recognitions, I'll turn the gavel over to the Vice Chair. There is a matter that we need to take up in open session that we dealt with in closed session. So the Chair will entertain a motion to authorize the County Manager to negotiate and execute all documents necessary for the acquisition of tax parcel 023-031-05 plus or minus 21.3 acres from James Galloway Jr. and Scotty Galloway Neal as heirs of James G. Galloway for a purchase price of $2,100,000 for expansion of the latter nature preserve. Is there such a motion?
Move, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and seconded. Is there any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, at this time, I'll turn the gavel over to our Vice Chair to go through awards and recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is with much pride and pleasure that I will be taking up the first proclamation of the night, the Charlotte Black Pride Week and Charlotte Pride Week proclamation. So will the people who are here to receive it, including Carolyn, Ben and Bob, come on down to the podium to receive while I begin reading. Are you here tonight?
We do have people out in the foyer as well, so we may have to see if someone can see if they're out there.
Well, I know we're being televised out there. I'll go ahead and keep it moving, but if someone can identify Carolyn, I think she's now in the room. And anyone else who is here to receive, you can come down to this podium. Whereas Mecklenburg County is home to a vibrant and diverse community, among which are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer LGBTQ citizens and residents. And whereas Mecklenburg County's LGBTQ community, their family, friends, neighbors, and co-workers have positively shaped the cultural, business, civic, faith, and social fabric of the county throughout its history. And whereas in 2025, Charlotte Black Pride marks its 20th anniversary, and Charlotte Pride marks its 25th year. And whereas LGBTQ residents in Mecklenburg County first attempted to organize gay liberation movement organizations as early as 1971, with Charlotte's first Pride events finally held in 1981, and the ensuing decades inspiring the creation of Charlotte Pride in 2000. And whereas Charlotte Black Pride was founded in 2005 with a mission to promote LGBTQ pride primarily for, but not limited to, members of the Black community while building social awareness, embracing spirituality, and celebrating the diversity that exists within our community. And whereas each July, Black members of the LGBTQ community and their allies gather to celebrate the history, culture, achievements, aspirations, and dreams during Charlotte Black Pride Week, and this year held its annual celebration, Black and Bold. And whereas community members joined together on July 12th to July 19th to celebrate the history, culture, community, and triumphs of Black LGBTQ people across our region. And whereas this August, Charlotte Pride will celebrate the 25th anniversary of its founding and the 44th anniversary of the first Pride events in Mecklenburg County. And whereas Charlotte Pride Festival and Parade is the largest LGBTQ community event of its kind in the region, contributing millions of dollars in economic impact each year. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim July 12th through 19th as Charlotte Black Pride Week and August 8th through 17th, 2025 as Charlotte Pride Week in Mecklenburg County, and encourages all citizens to join us in this special observance. Signed, the 6th day of August 2025, Mark D. Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. So moved.
Second.
Do any of my colleagues want to be heard on the matter? Miles Perry, are you here as well? All right, we got a long night in front of us, so I will quickly pivot to our speakers.
Hi.
Lauren.
Thank you, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. My name is Caroline Biedenbaugh, and I am the Communications Coordinator of Charlotte Pride. Bear with me, I'm a little nervous. I recently moved to Charlotte last September. I'm still new here, and it has been a wonderful experience to come to a few of these meetings where Pride proclamations have taken place, as well as Juneteenth proclamations and an anti-gun violence proclamation here in this room. I moved here from the state in the United States that is listed in Aaron Reed's anti-trans legislative risk map under a do not travel advisory for trans people due to the harsh political climate against its state's people. The reason I bring this up is because I want to stress the fact that proclamations like these really do matter. Proclamations like these signal to our community that there are people in our community that really support us. And the LGBTQ plus community has allies, and they're here in this room. And the work that goes into making this happen isn't taken lightly, and I'm determined to not take it for granted. Thank you, and I hope to see you all at the Charlotte Pride weekend, next weekend, August 16th and 17th. We also have an interfaith service this Sunday, if that's your thing. And I look forward to seeing you all there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hang on 1 second there. Those were beautiful comments. We're going to carry the vote, and then, if you will, come around and receive it. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Any opposed? And that is unanimous. Caroline, you can start over here, and we'd love to shake your hand.
Thank you.
proclamation will be Child Support Awareness Month, and I now turn to Commissioner Laura Meyer.
Thank you. Whereas Mecklenburg County has operated child support services since July 2010, when the staff and customers of the program were entrusted to the county by the state of North Carolina. And whereas former President Bill Clinton first proclaimed August as National Child Support Awareness Month in 1995 to demonstrate the importance of child support as a sustainable means of financial support and well-being for many of our nation's children. And whereas children living in poverty are more vulnerable to environmental, educational, health, and safety risks, and are more likely to have cognitive, behavioral, and socio-emotional difficulties throughout their lifetime. And whereas parents and/or caretakers through a strong work ethic and personal responsibility can provide a stable foundation for life to children who are dependent on them for their daily financial, emotional, and physical growth. And whereas Mecklenburg County is committed to ensuring the safety, health, and well-being for our children by supporting families through programs designed to help parents remain engaged in their children's lives. And whereas Mecklenburg County promotes a thriving, productive, proactive, and engaging community by taking a collaborative and holistic approach to help families benefit from both co-parenting and community support. And whereas in Mecklenburg County, there are approximately 53,892 children and custodial parents who receive more than $50 million in child support annually through the efforts of this county's child support professionals, which provide food, housing, and clothing to these families. And whereas collection of child support also contributes to the welfare of our local economy by avoiding Medicaid costs annually and moving families into economic self-sufficiency by reducing dependence on other public assistance programs such as temporary assistance to needy families, TANF, and food and nutrition services. And whereas these local efforts are provided by 138 Mecklenburg County staff members who work diligently to uphold the county's customer service and accountability standards. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners hereby proclaim August 2025 as Child Support Awareness Month in Mecklenburg County and commend its observance to all citizens. This 6th day of August 2025, Mark Jarrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. So moved.
Second.
Properly, having been moved and properly seconded, is there anyone from the department? Oh yes, please come to the podium. Ms. Clifton, thank you so much.
Thank you for recognizing August for Child Support Awareness Month. I am truly honored to accept this recognition tonight on behalf of the Child Support Services Division. This acknowledgement is a tribute to the unwavering dedication, tireless work, and deep commitment of our entire team to the families and children we serve. As Division Director, I have the privilege of leading an extraordinary group of professionals. They are passionate, resilient, and united with a shared purpose. They support one another, strive for excellence, and never lose sight of the impact their work has done for our community. They embody the belief that when a team works together with purpose, every goal becomes possible. And I can say with confidence, they are the best of the best. I am incredibly proud to stand with them and to lead them. To our county commissioners, County Manager Michael Bryant, County Attorney Tyrone Reid, Department Director Yolanda Griffin, and Deputy Director Quadric Knight, thank you. Your continued support and recognition of the vital work we do means more than words can express. Together, we are making a difference. Thank you.
My colleagues want to be heard, beginning with our chairman.
Fonda, thank you. I want to say thank you for your leadership. I was just sitting here telling Commissioner Griffin that we were agents together back in 1995, Child Support Enforcement Agents. And so it's just amazing to see your journey. I want to thank you for your leadership. I especially want to thank all of our team members. When you think about sometimes there's a stigma around the punitive nature of child support enforcement and what that means, but you've really made it, and the team has really made it a partnership, which has separated Mecklenburg County from other areas as it relates to child support when you think about our Empowering Fathers initiatives and things of that nature. I'm just so proud of that. I'm proud of your leadership. I'm proud to call you a friend, so thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. I have colleagues here as well.
And all of our colleagues, please stand from child support. Thank you.
Would any other colleagues like to be heard? All right, at this time, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. Please come down to get the proclamation. And our final proclamation is Women's Equality Day, and I now turn to Commissioner Townsend Ingram.
Thank you so much, Madam Vice Chair. And I feel like I love the poem that Commissioner Meyer read, but I feel like I want to read Ain't I a Woman by Sojourner Truth. I know we got along tonight. Mecklenburg County, North Carolina proclamation, whereas August 26, 2025 marks the 105th anniversary of women in the United States securing the right to vote through the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, and whereas this milestone, while historic, did not guarantee access to the ballot for all women, particularly African American, Indigenous, Asian American, and Latina women, many of whom remained disenfranchised until the passage of the Voting Rights Act of 1965 and beyond. And whereas the long struggle for suffrage and equality began with the Women's Rights Convention in 1848 and was advanced by generations of women who took bold steps in organizing, educating, and mobilizing for justice, often in the face of resistance, violence, and oppression. And whereas these brave pioneers redefined history through their courage, resilience, and vision for a more inclusive democracy. Their work laid the foundation for future generations to not only participate in civic life, but to lead, inspire, and transform their communities. And whereas women today continue that legacy, fighting for equality in the workplace, healthcare, education, and political representation, while also lifting up the voices of those historically left out of the narrative. And whereas the Mecklenburg County Women's Advisory Board has designated the 2025 Women's Equality Day theme as Redefining Her Story, Bold Steps, Bright Futures. A call to honor the past by uplifting the women who are shaping our future through both leadership, courageous advocacy, and empowered action. And whereas this year's Women's Equality Day celebration will take place on Saturday, August 16, 2025, and will feature inclusive programming to recognize progress, acknowledge ongoing challenges, and inspire community engagement in pursuit of gender equality. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim August 26, 2025 as Women's Equality Day in Mecklenburg County, and encourage all residents to join in commemorating this day by reaffirming their commitment to a more equitable and inclusive society for women and girls of every background. This, the 6th day of August, 2025. Signed, Mark D. Durrell, Chair, Mecklenburg Board of County Commissioners. So moved.
Wonderful. The motion having been moved and properly seconded, I'd like to call down to the podium Ms. Denise, Chair of the Women's Advisory Board, and And while you make your way down, if any of my colleagues want to be heard, now's a great time. Yes, Commissioner Leek.
Let me first say thank you for representing the women in the county of Mecklenburg. I served on that board many years and enjoyed serving on that board before I became a member of the county commissioners. It's a very strong board, and I'm hoping that we will continue, as we have in the past, to be active in the community and serve the community. Thank you, young ladies. Are your members here? Any of your members here?
Wonderful. Please do introduce them.
Thank you.
I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Hello, I am Jamila Espinosa, and I am finalizing my 6th year on the Women's Advisory Board. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve.
My name is Cornelia Nixon. This is my 2nd year with the Women's Advisory Board, and it has been a pleasure to serve this community.
Good evening, I'm Michelle Topa, new to the Women's Advisory Board. It's a pleasure.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shawana Burnett. I am on my 5th year of the Women's Advisory Board.
And good afternoon, Board of Commissioners. Long time no chat. I'm Daniela Denise, and I am the chair for the Women's Advisory Board. So on behalf of the Women's Advisory Board, I want to extend our sincerest gratitude for your continued support, your leadership in our community. We especially thank you for recognizing the importance of remembering Women's Equality Day. This day is a very powerful reminder of the progress that we've made towards gender equality, equity, and ongoing work still needed to ensure that all women, regardless of race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, or background, have equal access to opportunity, representation, and justice. By celebrating Women's Equality Day, we not only honor the generations of women who fought tirelessly for the right to vote, but we also inspire our youth and uplift the voices of women who continue to lead and serve our sectors of society. Your acknowledgement on this day reinforces that message of unity, inclusion, empowerment throughout our county. I would also like to give a special thanks to Commissioner Leek as our liaison and for her unwavering support and guidance. We would also like to thank you all for standing with us in an important cause. Thank you for consistently listening to our board, accepting our feedback, and working hand in hand with us. We welcome you to join us next Saturday. I know there's a lot of events on August the 16th at 11:30 at Camp North End for our Women's Equity event. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, if no one else needs to be heard, we will carry the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that is unanimous. You can come down to
Stop on the red line.
Really? I don't know what that is.
The red line, commuter rail.
Can't remember what that is.
Oh, it's you know when it's kind of rated.
You gonna camp dog?
It's not camp. It's not camp. I'll tell you what it is in Railroad.
No, have you been to Dogwood?
Huh?
Have you been to Camp Dogwood?
No.
It's good. Lions Club will pay. Lions Club will pay for you to go. It's good.
Yeah, I know that. But it's like I'm not into like outdoorsy stuff because of my implant now. I can't do crap outdoors.
I mean, they have indoor stuff too, like art stuff indoors. They have where you stay, it's like in a hotel room type setting. It's nice.
I was in Shell's Ford the other day.
I don't know about that. I recommend Dogwood. I went with my mother.
You never been?
What?
So you
And that
never been?
concludes our awards and recognitions, and I return the gavel to the chair.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Just to level set with everyone, the next portion of the agenda calls for the public appearance. Just want to make sure everybody understands that this is going to be different. Most of you are here for the public hearing. So we're going to go through public appearance. We also have a little bit of other business that we need to go through with appointments, and then we'll move right into the public hearing. But with respect to public appearance, I do have to read a statement. Public appearance is the period during the board's regular meeting that members of the public are provided the opportunity to speak on matters not appearing on the agenda.
Here we go.
Members of the public who appear during the public appearance portion of a regular meeting may discuss any matter within the jurisdiction of the Board of Commissioners except for the following types of matters. a matter which appears on the agenda of that meeting of the board, a matter which concerns the candidacy of any person for public office, including the candidacy of the person appearing before the board, request that the board considers funding a certain program or activity, either from the current budget or by inclusion in a future budget. Such request would be made at the board's annual budget public hearing. The time limit for speaking is 3 minutes unless there are 4 more speakers who wish to speak concerning the same matter, in which case all persons wishing to speak on the same matter will be considered a group and given a total of 10 minutes. The board reserves the right to alter these rules on a case-by-case basis as necessary for the efficient and effective conduct of business. Members of the board will not engage in dialogue with public appearance speakers. Comments will be received and followed up on as applicable by county staff and/or members of the board. Handouts and/or tokens shall be given to the clerk for distribution to the board at the conclusion of the meeting. Members of the public can watch and access and view the meeting on the government channel or online at watch.mecnc.gov. With that said, we have multiple speakers. The first group of speakers are Nia Brown, Kendra Rutledge, Marilyn Smith, Nyla Brown, and Deja Hobbs. Deja Hobbs, excuse me, I'm sorry. That group here. They're where? Oh, okay, they're outside. So as they're coming down, Denisha DeGraff and Rita, I know you are here. You can come to the other podium. Denisha DeGraff and Reed will have you come to the other podium. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
You all will have up to 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, commissioners, and thank you for giving us a voice. We appreciate the chance to share an important vision with you. My name is Nia Brown, and I am the founder of the Co-Parenting Hub, a community-built and faith-rooted dedicated co-parenting exchange facility launching right here in Mecklenburg County with one mission in mind: to give families a better way forward. Every week in Mecklenburg County, children are exchanged in parking lots, gas stations, and fast food restaurants. Unsafe, unregulated places heavy with stress and uncertainty. Nearly 1 in 3 local children live in single-parent homes, navigating fragile transitions that can shape their futures. This challenge touches millions across the nation, but here it demands bold, compassionate action. In too many of these cases, there is no neutral, child-centered space for the exchange. Tension rise, trauma builds, and children caught in the middle start to see transitions as threats and not safety. I've been that parent, standing tensely in a stressful handoff. I know how these charged environments can unsettle children and strange already fragile parents, shaping a child's sense of safety and worth. That's why I created the Co-Parenting Hub, a trauma-informed, community-rooted nonprofit that reimagines how separated families share parenting time. Here's what we're building right here in Charlotte. Private, bright-themed visitation rooms designed to feel warm, welcoming, and just for them. A cozy cafe-style waiting area and designated play area where parents can de-escalate and model calm communication while children enjoy themselves. Home setup support, so children have beds and essentials in both homes and not just one. Dedicated outdoor picnic spaces, to foster family building during visitation and transitions. Support programs for fathers looking to reconnect and rebuild bonds after long separation from their children. Workshops that provide families with the tools and support to overcome barriers preventing healthy co-parenting.
That's brilliant.
This isn't just a service, it's a prevention in action. By putting prevention first, we reduce conflict between co-parents and ease behavioral challenges in children. That means fewer crises, less stress on families,
and lighter burdens on our courts and law enforcement. Mecklenburg County has the chance to lead a national movement, not just because this problem is rare, but because we're bold enough to solve it. Today I stand before you, not just as a founder, but as a mother of 6, standing for families like mine. I'm asking for your partnership, your voice, your support, including securing a dedicated hub location, connecting us with youth services resources, and introducing us to people and places that can help bring this vision to life. It's time families have more than parking lots and unwelcoming buildings. They deserve better. Because when we change the setting, we change the story, and our children deserve a better story. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Deja Hobbs, and I serve as a board member for the Co-Parenting Hub. I've been a social worker for the past 7 years, working closely with families. I've seen how often co-parents are left without the tools, support, or guidance they need to raise emotionally healthy children in 2 households. On June 13th of this year, I was transporting one of my foster care youth to juvenile court, a teenage boy who has already seen and experienced more than most adults. During the 1-hour ride, we spoke about his court hearing, his recent behaviors in his placement, and his frustrations. He looked at me and said, "Miss Deja, I just wish my parents would get along. My mom talks about my dad because he wasn't in my life, and my dad talks about how my mom raised me. Neither one of them are perfect. We all have things we need to work on." That moment stuck with me. It reminded me that behind every case file is a child caught in the crossfire of parent conflict. This young man's struggles didn't start at school or at court. They started at home, with tension and toxicity between the parents. And now he's approaching adulthood without a unified, supportive foundation. His story isn't unique, it's one of many. That's why I believe so strongly in the mission of the Co-Parenting Hub. It is created to meet a real, urgent need in our community, offering education, mutual support, and safe spaces for co-parents to learn, grow, and put their children first. When I introduced the vision of the Co-Parenting Hub to those in the community, one response I received was, "What a wonderful idea. I've always thought it was sad when I see children switching households in the parking lot. That sounds safer and caring." Another stated, "My family and I are a blended family, and due to irreconcilable differences, we often pick my stepdaughter up in the parking lot. It got a little better as time passed. This is such a beautiful gift to those co-parenting, better memories and safer spaces." As a social worker and advocate, I know the long-term impact this kind of support can have, not just on families, but on our entire county. I'm asking for your partnership, specifically your help in securing a building where the Co-Parenting Hub can take root. We need a physical space that allows families to safely exchange their children, receive resources, and begin the hard but necessary work of healing. This building would serve as a consistent neutral ground where co-parents can reduce conflict and where children no longer have to witness the tension that so often affects their emotional and mental well-being. With your support, we can create a space that doesn't just serve families today, but transforms generations to come. Thank you.
My name is Kendra Rutledge. I stand before you today not only as a school administrator, but also as a wife, mother, and someone who's very familiar with the term co-parenting. I've been on this co-parenting journey over a decade now, with many highs and lows. I learned the key ingredient to this term is to value how you affect your children over everything else. Working in a school setting, I see the reality of broken transitions every day at home and in the halls of our school. I myself have exchanged my child in parking lots, family members' homes, and the list goes on. While my exchanges were mostly respectful in terms of communication with my child's father, the environment never felt safe or private. I've seen many other families in my school community go through the same thing, often with more tension. I truly believe providing a better environment along with support can make a meaningful difference for both families and children. As an educator, I've seen that stress follows children in the classroom. They carry the emotional weight of what they witness. Sometimes it's not spoken, but it shows in their behavior and in their focus and their confidence. That's why the Co-Parenting Hub is not just a nice idea, it's a necessary one. A place where families can exchange their children with privacy, dignity, and support. A place where trauma doesn't have to be the norm. This service is urgently needed, and I truly believe it could be the missing link for so many families in our community. As a mom and a leader in our school, I urge you to support this vision. We need this more than ever. Thank you for your help today.
Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for your time. My name is Marilyn Smith, and I have been a foster parent in Mecklenburg County for over 15 years. I have cared for children caught between parents, court orders, and chaos. And what I've seen time after time again is the lack of a safe, child-friendly, neutral place for custody exchanges and it only deepens the trauma, especially for the children. That's why I'm here tonight, to support the Co-Parenting Hub. This isn't just another nonprofit, this is a missing piece. A place where families can begin to heal, where exchanges happen without fear or confusion, and where children are no longer caught in the middle. I remember one child that was in my care. Her visits with her biological parents changed constantly. One week it was at the mall, the next week it was at a fast food restaurant, or other times it was in city public building. She never knew what was going on or what to expect. She never had a place that felt like she belonged. The Co-Parenting Hub will change that. It will be a consistent, welcoming space where foster children and their parents can meet in peace and private without compromising the child's happiness. A place where relationships can be rebuilt and not just exchanged. Let's give children comfort and let's give them stability. Let's give them a place that they deserve. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Nyla Brown, and I just want to share a quick message. Everything in this world has a place, and with your help, children being exchanged between homes will too. No more parking lots, no more gas stations, no more public lobbies. Co-parenting families will finally have a space made for peace, safety, and what's best for us. Thank you for giving hopes and kids like me a voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioners and everyone, for giving us a voice and giving small hopes like us a chance to project our visions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Denisha, before you go, let me call the next group of speakers. April Lewis, Levante Cusper, Shannon Steele, Ursula Baker, and Nikki Stewart. After that group, it'll be Jessica Saxton, and after Jessica Saxton, it's Tanawa Downey. So, Denisha, great to see you. You have 3 minutes.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Denisha DeGraffin-Reed. Thank you, Commissioners, for having me and giving me a voice for the community to hear. So I'm here tonight, as some people may know, to just speak about mental health and substance use awareness. August the 31st of this year is National Overdose Awareness Day. I would just like to give a quick moment of silence for all of those that we've lost to overdose and for those who may still be struggling. Thank you. Okay, this is a topic that may or may not impact everybody in here. I wish I could turn around, but my voice is gonna get lower. But I'm so excited to see all of you guys. And I just want people to know that taking care of your mental health is a necessity. It's a priority. It's something that we all must continue to do. Guys, it's so critical to just develop an understanding of what taking care of your mental health is. Year after year after year, we go in for checkups, getting physicals. When we do things, we have to get physicals. Many of you may know now that there's a survey where doctors have to ask questions about your mental health. All of that is for a reason. They found out that people are really struggling mentally. And whenever you struggle mentally, it can begin to impact your physical health. You may become more sick, you may become more agitated, you may become more short-tempered. It could just lead to an influx of things. There's so many ways to get help. There's so many organizations in Mecklenburg County and the surrounding areas. There's virtual appointments if you may not necessarily want to go into a physical building. But taking care of your mental health is very, 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 very vital. All of us in here have a brain. We all have minds. We all have this thing where we have to think, where we have to show up for the world, where we have to show up for our children, for our families. And sometimes I think it's easy to just kind of let your mental health fall to the wayside. If you know that you're having any abnormal thoughts, if you feel like you're just not like yourself, please reach out for help. There's 988. It's the most common line that I think that people can dial, and it's super easy to remember. These people will literally talk to you about anything at all. Please reach out for help. If you know that you're struggling is not a weakness. Not receiving help is the biggest weakness, and it's one of the biggest issues with what is going on in our society involving mental health. Please continue to take care of yourselves. If you believe in God, keep people lifted up in prayer in this community, in this nation, all around this globe. Please reach out, do some quick Google searches with Charlotte Mecklenburg. agencies, and you guys take care of yourselves. Thank you.
April, before you go, Jessica Saxton, Tanawa Downing, you all are on deck. April, you get up to 10 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is April Lewis, and I stand before you as an advocate and a witness to repeated failures in Mecklenburg County's response to housing instability. From Lake Arbor to Econo Lodge, from Tanglewood and Lamplighter to Hill Charlotte and now Cedric Dean, we have watched a pattern of neglect, exploitation, and broken promises destabilize hundreds of families. We are not here tonight to relive that trauma. We are here to stop it from happening again. We are offering a solution. A community-led stabilization center already piloted with 35 families, already showing results. Now we need your partnership to expand it. But before we get to policy, please hear the truth from the people who lived it.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Nikki Stewart, and I work alongside impacted families and grassroots organizers who have been holding this crisis together with bandages. Here's the reality. Over 2,000 people in Mecklenburg County are housing insecure. More than 400 are sleeping unsheltered, including children, elders, and disabled residents. The extended stay motel system is failing. And 211 is not a real solution. It simply tells people that everything is full. After the abrupt collapse of Hill Charlotte, families were handed off to Cedric Dean's HELP program without vetting, without oversight or care. They were dropped in uninspected homes, forced to clean up hazardous conditions with their own money, and illegally evicted, often in the middle of the night. The trauma inflicted on these families was worse than what they had already experienced at the hands of Hill Charlotte. And they still have not received any meaningful support from local systems. We are watching the long-term health, housing, and educational stability of our children unravel. We must act.
Hello, my name is Gisenia. I come from Hill Charlotte and Cedric Dean. I was in a motel with my children. Then I was moved into a house provided by Cedric. He told me he was helping us, but it was never safe. There was no inspections, no agreement or plan of action. He demanded our Medicaid information and gave no expectations why. Then, without warning, he started kicking people out. I had no idea where to go next. Today, I am back in a hotel with my kids, praying we will get help to stay past Friday. I speak not just for myself, but for the dozens of other mothers who are scared, who are tired, and who are trying to hold it together. Families together with no support. We need this stabilization center now. It's too late for me to feel safe, but maybe not for the next moment.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Levante Cuthbert. I was one of the first families moved from Hill Charlotte into Cedric Dean's program, and we were moved into a house. Excuse me, on 614 Concordia Avenue. I was evicted at 11 p.m. at night with less than 12 hours notice with my 3 children. There was no court process, no plan, just people who showed up while I was at work, packed up my items in the middle of the night. My kids was confused and scared, and there was nowhere for us to go. The house we lived in was disgusting. We had to clean it ourselves. No caseworkers, no path forward, no protection. This wasn't housing, this was a setup. I'm now stuck trying to rebuild my life all over again with no answers, no stability, and no support from the system that was supposed to help. We need the county to lead with accountability, not excuses. This stabilization center is the only real solution that I've seen thus far, so I really would hope you guys help us.
Good evening, my name is Ursula Baker. I live with my mother who has health issues and my young children, all under the ages of 10, including my autistic son. We were placed in Cedric Dean's program after Hill Charlotte program ended. It was never safe. The house was in bad conditions. We cleaned it up ourselves when we moved in. Then one night, after a month of being in the house, we were put out with no ideas, nowhere to go, and no notice, no follow-up, just gone. I had to explain to my kids why we couldn't stay in our home. We were harassed, we were disrespected, we was assaulted, degraded, and simultaneously being removed from a situation where dumped when we were offered exploitation, hush money from Cedric Dean to leave with no issues, but to go, just to go. Now school is starting again, and we have no stability. Excuse me. How are my kids supposed to learn where resources are not available? This is not just a housing issue, it's an education issue, a health issue, a moral issue. Please stop funding these failed programs and start funding community care. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brianna Jackson. I too was a resident of Cedric Dean's program that was suddenly evicted. And currently, my daughter's blood sugar is low. Today, we are not just bearing witness to injustice, we are presenting a solution born from community wisdom. You've heard the stories, you've heard the pain, now you hear the solution. Our team has identified 5 buildings that are ready to become the first community stabilization centers in Mecklenburg County. We need immediate county investment to conduct critical inspections, environmental, structural, and safety reviews so that we can move forward. We also are needing immediate county funding to scale our stabilization center pilot, further conversations about our implementation plan and ways to collaborate, a legally established, transparently managed community stabilization fund, formal partnerships with trusted community organizations, public health services on site, including for disabled and medically fragile families, policy development and protections for displaced families. Let's stop giving public dollars to individuals who exploit the most vulnerable. Let's stop watching children fail in school because they don't have a pillow to rest their heads on. And let's stop expecting broken systems to hold what they were never built for. We need you, the county commission, to lead where others have failed. Be with us, not against us. Let's build what Charlotte has never had, a real safety net, rooted in dignity, built on lived experience, and focused on housing, healing, and long-term stability. Thank you.
Thank you. Jessica Saxton. Denala Downing, are you here? Yes, sir. Okay. You can go to the other side.
Thank you so much. My name is...
Excuse me, Jessica, I'm sorry. So you can just walk through. Yeah. I apologize, Jessica. You have 3 minutes. Yes.
My name is Jessica Saxon. I'm a civil rights advocate and litigator from Washington, D.C. I need to provide notice to Mecklenburg County Commissioners this evening. This is in accordance with USCS Rules of Civil Procedure, as well as Rule 17 and Rule 20 of the United States Supreme Court. The Constitution for the United States is the overarching requirements that every state must follow. I trust that everyone here would agree with that. States are not able to enact their own alternative legislation and substitute it for the guarantees of the Constitution. That would mean that your state laws are, in fact, more powerful than the Constitution, and that is unlawful. Clause 1 of Amendment 5 to the United States Constitution says that no person should be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury. However, the state of North Carolina has enacted its own alternative legislation that permits prosecuting attorneys and police officers to charge by way of information as opposed to indictment as required by law and that is unconstitutional. An emolument violation is when you pay a public official to commit a crime. There are two areas in the Constitution that reinforces this. The first is Article 1, Section 10, where it states that no state shall create any law that shall impair the obligation of contract. So contracts, police officers, prosecutors, judges, they are all under a contract to perform based on the oath or affirmation that they took. The contract perimeters are defined within the Constitution of the United States. So when a state enacts a law that directs their agents to disobey the supreme law of this land, that would be a violation of Article 1, Section 10. The 14th Amendment is the other place that you'll find the reinforcement of this issue, and that's where it states that no state shall create or enforce any law that shall abridge the privileges and immunities of United States citizens. Privileges and immunities of the United States citizens are any minimum those that are enumerated within the Bill of Rights and the First Amendment. The state of North Carolina has enacted a law, again, in its inferior constitution that is permitting public officials and law enforcement officers, whom you all pay, to violate the Constitution of the United States. As a result, there's an inordinate amount of people currently imprisoned here in the state of North Carolina illegally and unconstitutionally. Mr. Tanoa Downing is preparing to litigate this issue in the United States Supreme Court on behalf of more than 700,000 people currently imprisoned here in America unlawfully. I'm here today to simply provide notice that you cannot continue to pay public officials to break the law. Criminal sanctions can't come from that. Paying public officials to disobey the law, it is an emolument violation, it is illegal, it is unconstitutional, and it is a crime. So please let the record show, I'm asking you honorable individuals, go home tonight, take a look at Clause 1, Amendment 5, confirm what I'm saying to be true, and direct your public officials to act in a lawful constitutional manner consistent with the obligations that are codified in the Constitution of the United States of America. And I do have a notice that I'd like to put on the record. Thank you so much.
You have 3 minutes.
So good evening. My name is Tanoa Downing. I'm the civil rights litigator that Ms. Saxon was just talking about. I want to provide a little bit of clarification so we can understand what just happened. I have approximately 34,000 criminal affidavits on behalf of affected victims that have had this happen to them from right here within the state of North Carolina. Many of them are from within the county of Mecklenburg. These are per se crimes, which means that we don't have to prove that they intended to breach their constitutional obligation simply by virtue of the breach. All elements of crime have been met because their willfulness and their knowledge derives from the promise that they make. No state can create its own alternative legislation substituted for the guarantees constitutionally go out and enforce it as though it's law. That is unconstitutional. So if your sheriff's department, your agents that you pay, if they're going out and executing a warrant because they're relying upon a judicial officer who relied upon a prosecutor who abused their power by relying upon an inferior state statute to deprive a person of a right that they're guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States, your sheriffs are now performing an unconstitutional arrest. And when they take that individual and put them into a jail, that jail is now acting unlawfully and unconstitutionally because it derives from an unconstitutional arrest. Now there's a crime, Title 18, subsection 242. It's deprivation of rights under color of law. What that statute says is that any person who, under the color of any state statute, ordinance, custom, or regulation, deprives any person of any rights secured by the Constitution commits that crime. There's a second crime called conspiracy to deprive rights, Title 18, subsection 241. What that states is that when two or more persons conspire for the purpose of depriving any person of any rights secured by the Constitution, commits that crime. Now, the law of criminal conspiracy with regard to public officials states that any person who, having knowledge of any of the wrongs conspired to be done, and who have the power to prevent or aid in the prevention of commission of same, neglects or refuses to do so, may be joined as offense in the action. So upon having been provided this notice that you are paying the sheriff's department to act unconstitutionally and that you're paying for a jail to house people unconstitutionally, I would ask you guys to please, let's stop, discontinue those unconstitutional acts, and let's direct them to act in a lawful manner. Now, I'm not saying these people are good people. I'm not saying they're lawful people, but I am saying they're rightful people, and their rights have clearly been abridged by the state of North Carolina by agents of yours. So let me be clear. I'm not trying to change the law. Rather, I'm pointing out what the law states, and that the way in which it's being enforced directly contradicts with what is specified. Therefore, I'm not trying to change the law. Rather, I'm asking that we uphold the law. If the law states that something will be done in a certain way, then we must follow that way. Laws do not change arbitrarily. That is tyranny. Constitutionalism demands that the laws evolve only through suffrage. Therefore, it's up to the people to decide whether or not the Constitution applies to them, and not a judge or a state. So, I know that you're going to go and you're going to ask your city attorney, right after we're done, if this is true, what he's saying is real. And before you choose to rely upon their advice, just understand that they're going to point you to a Supreme Court case from 1884 called Hurtado v. California. The Supreme Court of the United States has no constituted authority to alter, amend, or destroy the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution is the foundation, not a judgment. God bless. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. All right, next we'll move forward with our agenda. We're going to move to appointments. First up is the Building Development Commission. Reappointments are needed on the Building Development Commission for 2 3-year terms expiring July 31st, 2028. John Phillips and Jesse Sossaman are eligible for reappointment. Is there a motion to reappoint John Phillips and Jesse Sossaman? Moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Next, appointment is needed on the Building Development Commission to fill 1 3-year term expiring July 31st, 2028. National Association of Remodeling Industry slot. The National Association of the Remodeling Industry of Greater Charlotte recommends Mr. DeFabian.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to appoint Mr. DeFabian. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next up, an appointment is needed on the Building Development Commission to fill 1 3-year term expiring July 31st, 2028. Charlotte Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Contractors Association slot. Charlotte Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association recommends Mr. McClintock. Is there a motion to?
So moved. Second, Jim.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Next up is the appointment to Mecklenburg EMS Joint Agency Board of Commissioners. A motion is needed to appoint Michael Slitz, Senior Vice President and Chief Clinical Officer, Novant Health, Charlotte Region, to the Mecklenburg EMS Joint Agency Board of Commissioners to fill the unexpired term of Saad Atisham, expiring December 31st, 2025 as a Novant representative. Moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Next, we'll move to Historic Landmarks Commission. Nominations or appointment is needed on the Historic Landmarks Commission to fill 1 3-year term expiring July 31st, 2028. The chair of the HLC recommends Jason Tapp or Matthew Browder. Is there a motion or any nominations? Commissioner Powell.
Motion to appoint Jason Tapp.
Okay, Jason Tapp was the recommended person. Okay, it's been, I think let's see with any other nominations. So we've got Commissioner Lee and Commissioner Griffin.
Destiny Crawford, District 2.
Destiny Crawford, District 2. Any other nominations? That's what, yes. Okay, but it's got to come back, right, Madam Clerk? All right, are there any other nominations before we close this out? Okay, so Madam Clerk, we've got Jason Tapp and Destiny Crawford. We'll take that up in September, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, now we're at the point where you all have been waiting patiently, so thank you very much. At this point, we're going to move to the public hearing for projects for advancing vehicle infrastructure enhancements, PAVE Act. Need a motion to open the public hearing and receive comments from the public regarding the PAVE Act.
Yeah, right on.
Moved and seconded. Any unreadiness? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Ayes have it. We're going to open the public hearing. We have quite a few speakers. Remember, we've got 2 podiums. I'm going to call a group of speakers, so just see whatever podium's available or whatever side you're on, you can come and just wait. So I'm going to call this first group. First up Actually, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk, you did give me, there is a change in the order due to a special accommodation. All right, the first group is going to be Cassidy Hooper, Robert Callender, Marlon Stover, and Joey Escobar.
Oh, geez, you actually pronounced my name kind of right.
Just so you know, the order did change because of the special accommodation, and as they are making their way down, up next would be Jennifer Roberts, then John Autry, Clayton Seeley, James Hare, and Jerry Kingsley. Just, you're not coming as a group, it's individuals, but I just wanted to let you know where you are in the order. So again, the first group is making their way down, then it'll be Jennifer Roberts, John Autry, Clayton Seeley.
Thank you.
This is gonna be
Here
shorter
we
than
go,
I
Miss
thought.
Kristen.
Alright, we're going to take Cassidy first, and you're going to come hold my arm, and then bring it over to the microphone, okay?
Oh, I hear the heavy breathing already, Kristen.
Excuse us 1 second. So, Madam Clerk, I had a different list, so there were 2 people that I didn't have on this other list, so, so let's hear, we have a group up top. You get up to 10 minutes, and then we'll go with the order that I called. Cassidy Hooper.
Good evening, fellow citizens of Charlotte. My name is Cassidy Hooper. I'm a Charlotte native. I've been blind since birth. I would like to start off by asking you to imagine something. Imagine not being able to drive, but having to go by the mercy of somebody else. My fellow citizens, it is important that this PAVE Act is put on the ballot in November for the following reasons. Number 1, having microtransit for those people who are blind or visually impaired will create a sense of independence to be able to access a light rail. Currently, I use something called SPS, which is a CAPS-funded bus system for people with disabilities who don't usually use the county buses. The problem is that a lot of times you can't really get home until 6:30, 7 o'clock. But what if you were in that situation? Wouldn't you want to be home in time to visit with your families a little bit before you had to get back in bed and get ready for work the next day? So I think that it would be more beneficial to have this on the ballot. Also, it creates more opportunities for the blind to be able to go to work. Where I work at Lion Services, and my fellow friends here work at Lion Services, we all take SPS, some of us, but some people have to take other transportation. But even so, not everybody can get that safe transportation. If you're in Iredell County trying to get to Lion Services, also, it would be, if Charlotte's growing, 16,000 people in Charlotte are blind. That's a big number. So, just, I just think that having this microtransit would be beneficial. That way we don't have to sit in traffic when we can get to our doctor appointments in time, just like you.
Okay, Joey?
Hey, I thought Michael was going next.
You can go next.
I'm going next?
Yeah, go next. You're right here with the microphone right in front of you.
Am I ready?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hold on a minute. I don't think I want the mic yet. There we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Joey Escobar, and I, like my friend Cassidy, am a Charlotte native and has been blind since birth. And I, too, use STS, which they do the best they can do, but it's a very overworked service. In the mornings, not so bad, but after getting off work at 4, I'm tired, my head is spinning, and I have 2 hours of sitting on a stiff board, trying not to squish my coworker beside me, and a bus that may or may not bounce like a basketball. And it's not fun. And like Cassidy said, we don't get home until 6, 6:30, or 7 o'clock, which means we literally have to go right back to bed and right back to work. But if we had microtransit, which is last mile transit, it would take us from, it would take us from the Sugar Creek, or it would take us from our place to Sugar Creek Light Rail. And we can either get the light rail, go straight home, or if we wanted it to take 2 hours to get home because our senses are warped, we can actually go to like Midnight Diner or something, or go down to Trade and Tryon and listen to the fountain, all the while stimulating the economy of Mecklenburg County, because you think you're going to go to Midnight Diner and buy food? Nah. And also the traffic is straight up terrible, man. Like, and we're not getting any better. So I urge you, our esteemed county commissioners, to put this on the ballot so that we can look past the days of 2 hours on stiff boards and sitting in traffic and actually enjoy our commute home for a change. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Go ahead, Robert.
Fellow citizens, esteemed board, my name is Robert Thompson Jr. I'm here on behalf of Line Services Incorporated. We're a nonprofit organization, military contractor. We are creating helmet harnesses, keeping helmets on the head of our armed forces, hydration packs, and other safety equipment, as well as exercise gear for the Army and Navy. I wanted to thank Commissioner Powell and the district. I wanted to thank you for your compassion and effectiveness. I use microtransit. I catch a cab, which is the quick hit cab company provided by the MTS, Mecklenburg Transit System. They get me to the line services factory at 6:45 in the morning. We clock in at 7:30 for full time, hundreds of line people. I get in the cab again at 4 o'clock, get home in Cornelius just about 5. It's very smooth, it's very effective. The microtransit has allowed me to reestablish my independence, fund my household, support a family member, and helping the rest of my family, and helping us all be where we need to be. I've been blind since 2022. I'm 43 years old, working full time now. I use the roads of this county and the microtransit, and I'm here to advocate for increased funding. Very important. Very important. And I'd like to thank you all for your attention, fellow citizens, esteemed board. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Marlon Stowe, also a native here in Charlotte. I'm a little older than some of these folks behind me. I feel back a little farther than them. I've been legally blind for the majority of my adult life. Relying on public transportation. I can go back to catch public transit on the square. When downtown Charlotte closed at 6 o'clock, it's hard to imagine it. You know, also with Kingston Transit in my earlier days, with nowhere to catch it to. But Eastern Hall, Carolina Place, and that was even a 2-hour trip. Things have gotten a lot better since then for people with disabilities and this impairment with catching public transit. But this is what we've been waiting for. This has been probably 4 or 5 years in the making of trying to get this put on. I myself, like a lot of my colleagues, like I said, this is what we've been waiting on. It's going to increase independence for us. It's going to open the doors for employment opportunities, opportunities and enjoy social and culture experiences, just like everybody else in this community. I'm encouraging you all to really think about this and get this put on. We over halfway through this fight. They started building 485 when I was in high school. So I understand what 30-year plans are. You know, patience is something that I know I have. Being a visionary, you have to. You have to rely on other people to get you from point A to point B. I've seen the work that goes into this transit plan. I think Cass has done a wonderful job. you know, setting with management and seeing how our work is when we put this plan together. It's all inclusive, you know. People grumble about this city being a major city, you know, for years and years. But this is the opportunity to advance managed transit, to make it all inclusive for everybody. You know, I not only advocate for people with disabilities, but like I said, as a native of the city, I've seen it grow, and I want it to be beneficial to everybody and grow to its full potential. Microtransit and rail has been a life changer for people with disabilities, especially as impaired people like myself. Being able to travel independently is important to me. I want to be able to get out and experience everything that everybody else does in the city. I've been paying taxes around here a long time, and I want to be able to do it just like everybody else. So please consider this. It's going to make a world of difference for a lot of us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So let me get this order right. I missed two names, so let me recall this roster. First up should have been Dr. Blanche Penn. Dr. Penn, are you here? You're here, make your way down. She is not here? She left. Okay. Then it'll be Braxton Winston, making his way down. And then Jennifer, you're up next. Jennifer Roberts. And after Jennifer, it'll be John Autry. After John, it'll be Clayton Sealy.
Great job. Thank you. God, I had to get my food reference in there.
Oh, this is my This is the ride of my life. Can't hear my last
Can you hold that door, Rudy? Sure. Thank you.
That was good. I was proud of myself.
Cassidy John, you want to go home with me? I'd be happy to take you.
Bye, Miss Kristen.
That was awesome. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
This is Miss Beverly.
Huh?
This is Miss Beverly. I met you earlier.
Oh yeah, you gave us the time. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna come see y'all. Okay.
You should come over to our place. It's really cool. You got my lunchbox? You should come over to our place. It's really cool.
You want to go? You want me to do it, right?